This is Calm AF, a podcast for humans who are hard on themselves. A podcast for the overthinkers, people pleasers, perfectionists, and overachievers. I'm Kristen Finch, and I'm going to teach you how to quiet that incessant negative chatter in your head. Because you know what a person with a calm mind can do? Anything they want. Grab your coffee, gorgeous soul, because today's the day you get Calm AF. Hello, gorgeous soul. Welcome to Calm AF. I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope it's a beautiful day. It is a gorgeous day here today. It finally feels like spring, like consistently like spring now. If you hear some noises, because it's finally spring here, everybody's outside doing their outside things. And right outside the studio, they are trimming trees. And I could have rescheduled when I was going to record this, but I figured, who cares? It's just a little tree trimming song behind me. And I'm sure Dave will be able to edit it out and you'll barely even be able to hear it. So today I want to talk to you about how to create the perfect morning routine. Okay? I have said it a million times. I've said it here in the podcast. I teach it to my classes and my clients. How you start your day is everything because of the snowball effect it has on your life. Your days set the tone for your weeks set the tone for your months set the tone for your years, and your years set the tone for your life, which means if you want to change your life, you have to start with your mornings. And no doubt over the years, you have played with lots of different ideas of how you should start your morning. What is your perfect morning routine? There's no shortage of information out there telling you what that should be, right? What are the most important components of a successful morning routine? And if you're like me, you've had an ideal morning routine. You've had plenty of them over the years. Oh, I'm going to wake up at this time way earlier than normal, so I have plenty of time to do all these things that I want to do, right? Like all of these things that we have heard from the quote unquote experts out there who have told us about the perfect morning routine. So things like drinking lemon water, meditating, praying, journaling, morning pages, guided visualizations, setting your intention, breath work, workouts, cold plunges, writing down your goals, reading a book, all of these different things that we have been told, we have learned would be a good thing to include in your morning routine. And I don't know, if I included all of the things that I have thought I should probably include in my morning, I would have to be waking up at like 3 a.m. Also, let's not forget if you've got kids or you don't have a busy life outside of your mornings, you got to hope and pray that your kids aren't going to wake up or some urgent email isn't going to come in while you're right in the middle of that morning routine. So while I'm a big advocate of mindful morning routines, we have to acknowledge that a routine that makes you feel stressed, overwhelmed, resentful, frustrated is counterproductive. It's the opposite of why we have a routine in the first place, right? You want to be setting the tone for your day. You want to set the tone for your day being frustrated? Have a really complicated morning routine. So let's take a step back and talk about why a morning routine is important for everyone. Okay? And I'm going to explain it in a way that you will understand even if you're not a morning person, even if you have 1 minute in the morning to yourself. So, there are a lot of important reasons why we want a morning routine. I already said the one, right, is that it sets the tone for your day. You for sure know the difference between a morning that flows smoothly, that you actually have a minute for yourself, and the ones that feel like an uphill battle from the second your eyes open. Okay, so that's obviously one of the main reasons to have a morning routine, but there are some other compelling reasons to prioritize having a morning routine other than that. First of all, your brain craves certainty. Your brain loves a good plan. It thrives on predictability because it gives you a sense of control. It feels like you have some control over the world. And as you're well aware, there's lots of unpredictable shit happening once your day is rolling. A morning routine can really help you start your day feeling empowered, like The rest of this day might turn into a shit show, but at least I can count on my morning routine. Another good reason that we want to have a morning routine is because obviously the purpose is to start your day with healthy habits. Someone who decides they want to implement a morning routine isn't like, well, first I'm going to wake up real late and then I'm going to drink some vodka and then I'll numb out for 2 hours on my phone and then I'll do... That's not what people are usually doing. They're usually creating a morning routine because they want to take really good care of themselves, right? It's an intentional decision to prioritize your mental health, your self-care from the moment you wake up. And by committing to a morning routine, you're setting the tone for the day and you're declaring, I am a person who takes excellent care of myself. Okay, so those are the reasons. Those are the reasons why I think that everyone, no matter what, should have some sort of a morning routine. So let's move on to how to create your perfect morning routine. Now, I keep using the word perfect. Obviously, there's no such thing as a perfect morning routine for everybody. If there were, all of those people who talk about it and write books about it, they would all agree on what the perfect morning routine entails. But they don't. They all have different things. Oh, this is the most important. Oh, this is the most important. There is no right way for everyone. There is no perfect routine for everyone, but there is a morning routine that is going to be right for you. So let's come up with it. You want to start by being really fucking honest with yourself. Okay, so this plan needs to work for who you are, not who you think you're supposed to be. I will give you an example, and I'm going to use this name. I asked her if it was okay. She said yes. My client, Amy, is not a morning person, but every time she decides she needs to get her shit together once and for all, she decides she needs to get up at the crack of dawn. And listen, it's not by accident. You will often hear people who write about morning routines advising everyone, in order to be successful, you need to get up super early, get up before everybody else is up. Do you want to know who is writing these things about morning routines, like how to have the perfect morning routines? Morning people. Morning people are telling other people how to have a productive and successful morning. Okay? So Amy and we set out to make her morning routine, and she was like, okay, so I will get up at 5, and I asked her, I was like, wait, what time do you normally get up? And I could see like the shame kind of wash over her. And she's like, well, honestly, I'm usually getting up at 8 because that's the latest possible time that I can get up and still get the kids off to school on time. And she told me that she's exhausted in the mornings because nighttime is the only time of day that no one needs her. Like everyone goes to bed and she gets to have her own special time. So even though she's tired, she'll stay up and watch a show or she'll play on her phone. And then she's tired in the morning, right? This vicious cycle. So I'm like, listen, this is just where you are right now. Your nighttime is when you are getting your quality, like alone time. So how do you feel in your body when you think the thought, tomorrow I'm going to get up at 5 a.m.? She was like, it feels awful. I don't want to. I feel like I should. And this is what I mean. Don't try to change who you are to fit into your morning routine. Make the routine fit around who you are. Okay? If you're not a morning person, don't try and be a morning person. Don't force yourself to wake up at the crack of dawn. You will only end up feeling frustrated and disappointed. Instead, you want to create a routine that accommodates your natural tendencies. Okay? If you've got little kids or you start work super early or you've got a needy pet or whatever reason, and you know that you are either going to have a shorter routine or you're going to have to get up a little bit later, it's totally fine. You can still include things that really matter, that are really going to help you set the tone for the day, even if they don't all happen first thing in the morning. Maybe you prefer to journal or practice yoga or read a book later in the day. Nothing bad's going to happen if you move your schedule around to accommodate who you are. Rigidity isn't your friend when it comes to any habit, especially a morning routine. Just be flexible, be open to just adjusting your routine as needed. Also, for my perfectionists out there, all of you, it's totally okay if not every day looks the same. Here, I am writing you a permission slip. I am signing it. Permission to have a different looking morning every day. This is important to remember if your schedule is frequently changing or if you aren't a person who loves things being the same like me. I have a few constants that I do every day, but honestly, my morning routines are always changing. Sometimes I'll keep something on for a couple weeks. Sometimes it'll last a couple days. Sometimes it'll be a really long time. But I am a person who loves changing things up. It helps me feel more motivated. Okay? So don't worry about how it looks from day to day. What matters is that you're doing it. Okay? So it doesn't matter. Who cares if your things are shifting? I'm not going to make my shifting moods or my fluctuating energy or my need for more sleep one day mean that something is wrong. Okay? And neither should you. I'm going to be working with the way I'm wired. And I know if I try to stick to some rigid routine forever, I'm going to get bored as f and quit it altogether. So before you create your morning routine, know yourself. Be honest with yourself. Make your morning routine work for who you are and what season of life you're in. So let's talk about what you want to achieve with your morning routine. Obviously, it would be amazing to feel inspired and exhilarated every morning, like you're at a self-care retreat. But again, you can't build your life around your habits. You need to build your habits around your life. The top objective, the thing that we want to get out of a morning routine is to stop starting your day feeling like you are going from deep sleep into a panicked emergency state. So, what should you include in your routine? Obviously, I just spent all that time saying there is no perfect way, there is no right and wrong things to include, but I am going to offer a few suggestions. In order to create a Calm AF life, starting with your Calm AF morning, you really want to think about how you can tend to the whole Calm AF system, which, as a reminder, the Calm AF system is comprised of your mind, your body, and your bubble being the energy around you. So when you're deciding what you want to include in your mornings, see if you can find practices that touch on each of these components. So let me throw some suggestions of some of the practices that have the biggest bang for the buck. Set an intention. Okay, this is one I will say. Like if I had to say there's one thing you must include, it would be to set an intention. And here's the great thing about setting intentions. It's, in my opinion, the most impactful practice, and you can do it in 30 seconds. And you can do it from bed with your eyes still closed. An intention is a decision. It's you deciding the feeling state that you're going to align with during the day. Intentions are not a to-do list. They are the feeling you want to feel while you're completing your to-do list. Okay, so here are some tips. If you tend to struggle with coming up with intentions, just decide on it the night before. You can always change it. I tell my clients this all the time. Like, I am not making you tattoo your intentions on your arm. You can change it in the morning. If you wake up and you're like, that doesn't feel right anymore, I want to change it. Fine. But if you have a hard time coming up with something in the morning, just do it the night before. And that way, when you wake up, all you have to do is recall it. If you don't know how to set intentions at all, if you don't even know what I'm talking about, you can search this podcast. I have talked about it a lot. I teach it in depth inside the Calm AF Life course, and we have an intentions thread in the private community just for that added accountability, because I think it's, like I said, the most important morning habit that you can have is to set an intention. Another suggestion that's really quick and really easy is to breathe. Again, this can take 30 seconds and you can do it from bed. And here's why this one matters so much. I want you to think about what happens to your nervous system when you go from deeply sleeping, deep relaxation, to a wide awake state where your thoughts are probably already going and there might be sounds that are kind of jarring you, right? It's jarring. It's jarring sometimes waking up, especially if you happen to have one of those days where you wake up late, or you happen to have some kids or someone else who tends to wake you up. Okay? This is something you can do, breathing. Even if the kids are bugging you to get up, you can pause and take 3 deep breaths and get your nervous system regulated and ready. Another idea that you can do very quickly is just to hydrate. Just take a drink of water, 30 seconds. It's amazing to me how people want to even complicate drinking water. Okay, don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Just put some damn water in your body. Cold water, warm water, lemon water. You'll be fine. Your body knows what to do with water. Just put some water in a cup and take a few sips. This is addressing, right? When we're tending to the different parts of the Calm AF system, we're tending to our body, we're tending to our energy, we're tending to our mind by setting intentions, drinking some water, taking some deep breaths. So those are 3 ideas that are tending to the whole system, all of which would take you less than 5 minutes. Okay? So how about your bubble? I know sometimes people are like, well, what should I do if it's like my environment? So the bubble component is referring to the things happening outside of you, the people around you, the environment that you're in. On my days that I have a long, luxurious amount of time, I might go around the house and wake up the house. This is a practice that my feng shui expert BFF Amanda shared with me a long time ago, and I love it. Like just like a family member, you walk around the house and say good morning to it. So I do that when I have time. And if I don't, I will open the curtains and say good morning. Again, that will take me 10 seconds. Okay. Another thing that you could tend to your bubble that takes 0 minutes, in fact, it probably will give you minutes back, is to delay external input. What do I mean by that? I mean, if you wake up and you don't immediately look at your phone and start checking emails or scrolling on TikTok or Instagram or see something negative, if you don't do that, your nervous system will say, thank you. That is really tending to your bubble. So just delay whatever input that you might be bringing into your body, in through your eyes, through your ears. Okay? Make sure that you are protecting your nervous system so that you are starting the day where you feel empowered, not out of control because of the shit show that's on your phone. Okay, so those are some ideas to get started with. I suggest that as you start creating your perfect morning routine, you make sure you create a few different options. One option for your very best day, like if you had 2 free uninterrupted hours, the kids sleep late, you wake up rested, you're feeling good, all the conditions are ideal, what would you do on those days? But I also think it's really important to create a morning routine for the days that you have 10 minutes or 1 minute because the alarm didn't go off, right? That might be the day where on those mornings you wake up, you take a few deep breaths before you open your eyes, and you set your quick intention that you're just pulling from the night before and you're off, right? That is as complicated as your morning routine needs to be. You want to come up with an ideal morning routine and a few shitty morning routines because a shitty morning routine is still a morning routine. Even a shitty intention is an intention. 2 sips of water is better than no sips of water. 1 big stretch is better than not tending to your body at all. There is no perfect way to have a morning routine except for what works for you. Be relentlessly committed to starting your day with some sort of routine, but also give yourself permission for that routine to be ever-changing. And sometimes letting it be shitty will set the regulated tone you want for your mornings, which will set the tone for your days, for your years, and for your life. All right, gorgeous soul, I love you so much. I will see you next time. If you love this podcast, you will love Calm AF Life. It's a self-paced, lifetime access DIY course that teaches you all the concepts that I talk about here, from nervous system regulation to manifesting with ease. And since we know that true change doesn't happen just because you know what to do, you also get an all-access pass to coaching calls and accountability so you don't stay stuck and you don't give up. The best investment you could ever make is in yourself. Calm AF Life is here for you now. Life's not waiting. Let's get you aligned with your Calm AF self, gorgeous soul. I cannot wait to meet you. Go to KristenFinch.com and join me today.